Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Nihongo Master podcast. I'm your host Azra and I'm so excited to welcome you to another fresh season. And since it's December, and I'm all about that holiday spirit, I've decided to make this short 1 month long season all about Japanese winter. It's one of my favorite times of the year in Japan. Christmas and New Year's all in one? I'm in. Oh, and treat this season as a countdown to New Year's too. Oh, and if you're an OG, you probably might think that this sounds all too familiar. Well, you're right. Last year, we covered briefly about Japanese winter in Season 2, Episode 13. We kind of jammed all the info into 20-something minutes. That's not good. This winter, I'm all about taking it slow and exploring the various amazing parts of Japanese winter. Now, we might think that Japan's best season is its spring. I reckon it's the winter. And with this episode, I'm hoping I can convince you to think the same way too. Because here, I will highlight the top 3 reasons as to why you should visit Japan during winter. Now, before we jump into the first reason why you should spend your winter in the land of the rising sun, there are a few things about the winter season here you should know, particularly the weather. Let's talk a bit about the weather in Japan during winter, shall we? Like most countries, the winter season starts around December and goes on till mid-March. But hold on a second, Japan is huge and stretches out quite far north and south, so the exact dates greatly depend on the parts of the country. Some prefectures start their winter as early as November, and some others can begin welcoming spring as early as February, or as late as May. Also varying by location is the temperature. Some places are colder, and others are warmer. Tokyo's winter temperature is probably the most ideal. It's not too cold with afternoons about 12 degrees Celsius and mornings and evenings about 3 degrees Celsius. Sounds like an ideal winter temperature to me. Now, if you really want the cold winter, up north in Hokkaido is where you should go, with regular snowfalls and temperature dropping below 0 degrees Celsius. Heck, it might go even below negative 10 degrees Celsius. Now, don't get scared off just yet, because if these areas are way too cold for you, not to fret, Japan has an even milder winter down south in Okinawa, where you'll get the most comfortable weather of 15 to 20 degrees Celsius all throughout the season. And see, isn't that the absolute best place to spend your winter? A change in temperature is just a drive away. I should have put that as one of the reasons. But anyway, now that we got that out of the way, let's jump right into the first out of the 3 reasons why you should visit Japan during the winter season. The first one is that there is endless exploration to be done during Fuyu, winter in Japan. All the way from the north to the south of Japan. Everything from nature attractions like spots in the mountains and hikes up to scenic views to city events like festivals and fireworks. We're saving up the list of what to do and where to go for future episodes in Season 9. So if you're interested in those, stay tuned. But I definitely recommend each and every one of you to hop on a plane in December to explore Japan's nature. I know, it's so much easier to stay okunai, indoors, where there's heating during this cold season. It's comfortable and the safest choice. Most of us have that as the go-to plan during the winter. But I challenge you to go outdoors, which is soto in Japanese. Especially when you're in a country like Japan, where there are secret gems at every corner, grab that opportunity and get involved in the various types of outdoor activities. Fine, you're not the sporty type, neither am I, but there are tons that are beginner and family friendly to enjoy too. Okay, if you're not up for sports at all, there are parks with special winter events like illuminations and fireworks for a good evening stroll with a loved one. If you've read my articles at the Nihongo Master blog, I've said this a million times, but no country celebrates winter much like Japan. So don't waste your precious time in this magical country in a shopping mall, and instead head outside and play, or asobu in Japanese. Oh, but I do have a tip for you. Plan your adventures, especially during winter in Japan. There's an extended yasumi, holiday period, consisting of the days before New Year's and even the days after. Many shops will be closed then. And when you're commuting, public transport might not go as frequent, especially if you're not in big cities like Tokyo or Osaka. The countryside of Japan has buses and trains that come once an hour, so keep in mind for all of that. But all in all, if you've planned well, you're going to save a lot of time from traveling and have more time exploring. Here's a quick vocab recap. Fuyu, winter. Okunai, indoors. Soto, outdoors or outside. Asobu, play. Yasumi, holiday. By the way, if you haven't checked out our official website yet, why not give it a browse? At Nihongo Master, we offer efficient Japanese lessons that are quick, easy, and fun for Japanese language learners of all levels, from beginners to advanced. Our smart tools will assist you in areas where you need a little bit of a push and congratulate you on the ones you've aced. With a community of over 50,000 Japanese students, you're not alone on your learning journey. Make new friends and improve together with our point system, collecting points as you go along. Ask away any questions you have on our group discussion pages. There's sure to be others as well as our Japanese instructors that are quick to answer. You can also take Nihongo Master with you on the go and learn Japanese as you trot the globe. Practical, right? The second reason you should spend your winter in Japan is that there's also a lot of relaxation activities. I know, it might be a bit contradictory from the previous reason, but I assure you that there's plenty of both to go around. And I bet some of us will wake up one day on our trip and think, no, I don't want to get out of bed today. Trust me, I get that. That's me too. So, instead of cozying up in bed, why not pop down to the nearest onsen, which is Japanese hot springs, for a nice calming soak in spring water. Some are just an hour's train ride away from big cities like Tokyo and Osaka, so you can go and come back the same day. If you want even more relaxing, Japan is full of unique and cozy cottages you can book for your whole stay. These ryokans are everywhere, and some of them are even more gorgeous in winter. For example, the Japanese-style farmhouse, or minshuku in Japanese, up in Shirakawa-go, is the best example for this. This area is full of pine trees surrounding it and up mountains, and the farmhouse will allow you to fully immerse in the culture. Recently, I found out myself that Hokkaido has tons of ski resorts that offer the full shebang of living in a cute cottage without being so isolated. Tons of ski resorts offer onsen, shopping, and dining all in one spot. You don't even have to ski for the place to be worth staying at, I reckon. Oh, and you can also pop down to the southernmost part of Japan, which is also beach paradise, Okinawa. There, you don't even have snow. And resorts, or risoto in Japanese, are a huge thing too. You can lounge by the pool or take a dip in the jacuzzi. Doesn't that sound perfect for some of us? So if you're all about that relaxing winter time with breathtaking views, Japan has a lot in store for you. Now, for a quick vocab recap. Onsen, Japanese hot spring. Ryokan, a traditional Japanese inn. Minshuku, Japanese-style farmhouse. Risoto, resort. And last but not least, the third reason why you should come to Japan during the winter is that there are lesser crowds and also lower costs for the entire holiday. See, keep in mind that Japan is a very pricey travel destination and brings in huge crowds to the big tourist spots, especially in spring. So, because it's so high in demand, the prices for accommodation and flights skyrocket. But see, you can cheat the system by going during winter. No hitobito no mure, crowds, and everything is yasui, cheap. You can have great shots at tourist attractions without many people photobombing your shot. You don't have to queue for so long for things like restaurants. You pretty much have a more enjoyable time during your holiday. And who is not swayed by the cost? Prices skyrocket for March and April because of the cherry blossom season. But in winter, you can get tickets from LA to Tokyo for just 500 per person, and that's a round trip. Okay, assume these prices, or nedan in Japanese, were pre-COVID. But it's still so much better than spring prices. I don't know about you, but I'm sold. This is probably also why it's one of my favorite time of the year in Japan. Here's a quick vocab recap. Hitobito no mure, a flock of people or crowd. Yasui, cheap. Nedan, prices. So, are you convinced about coming to Japan during the winter season? Not yet? Well, this new season and the winter season has just begun. I've got a few more episodes to try to convince you, and I'm sure I will. Which kind of winter traveler are you? Are you the explorer like me, or the relaxer and would opt for onsens every other day? Tell us your thoughts by commenting on our social media platforms. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, head over to the Nihongo Master blog if you're interested in reading up on topics like these some more. And if you're keen on picking up some more Japanese for yourself, pop onto our official website, nihongomaster.com, to learn more. While you're at it, why not get yourself a subscription? Get a head start on your Nihongo journey with Nihongo Master. Thank you so much for listening in. Join me in the next one, where I'll be walking you down the avenue of Japan's rich winter culture. Mata ne!